break their announcements and such as that. But again, welcome to everyone. We're glad you're here. And if you could just give a warm welcome to Mr. John Lipinski.
Thank you very much. Yeah, go ahead. Good evening and good to be here again. I think it's about the 28th or 63rd time I've been here. So, Phil and I have been together for a long time, I think 17 past lives, and every time he calls me, he doesn't seem to know what he needs to do. So he gets what he says a Lipinski download. So 15 minutes later after we're done, he asked me, would you like to speak? If he could have done that at the beginning and we could save each other's time. My buddy Bob's over here. He's got some new paint, new carpet in a new apartment. He's going to be the plant. So if anybody's yelling and screaming, that's going to be Bob over here. In the back are my good friends Fred and Harry at Corngut. In the old days, I had some people. I came out of the teaching closet teaching the Celestine Prophecy back in 1907. And we had about, I've got another plant up here, Bob. What is it? And we had a lot of fun. I developed a 10-week course on the 9 insights in Celestine Prophecy. And Sandy and Tommy were friends of mine. They moved up to Hot Springs Village. And they were telling me about these wild people that are up there on the edge of the village. And what was our rocket scientist friend up there? We'll come back. So Fred and Harriet had a beautiful piece of property on the edge of Hot Springs Village. And it was not in the village, it was just on the edge of it. And it was basically scrub brush. But after they worked on it long and hard for a long time, had a beautiful place. They had a portal on one part of the property. Arkansas is the #1 place in the world as far as crystals. They had a couple pyramids up there. It was just a great place. But they also had a pyramid. Excuse me, they also had a labyrinth. And Fred would come out with his rods, and he'd check you beforehand, and they'd just be sticking out. So when you walked around this labyrinth, he'd have to, they'd be sticking, then they'd start to go like this because your energy was that much higher. So he had you go all the way at the other end, and they were still sticking out like this. So it had cost us $3 million and a cast of 6. This is a labyrinth he built. I'm going to pass this around right now where they used to have it up there. And they have what they call a chakra labyrinth. So they have different colors from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, violet, and I like to say crystal on top. So you might take a look at this plus their wheel. Let me make sure I don't do that. We'll just pass this around. So they did a real nice job. And so they have a granddaughter named Rachel, and they had a bedroom for her. But Rachel was pretty slow. So I'd call them in October, and I'd get to sleep in her bedroom. So that was kind of interesting. I got Elliot and Peggy Ann up here in the front place. I had a mutual friend come down who I tricked when we were involved with each other, and she bought a house or two up in Hot Springs Village. Well, she's not happy with her hair, so she comes all the way down here to spend $8,000 to $1,000 on her extensions. So we sat around telling old lies. But she had an interesting comment. I go to Unity of Dallas, and we used to have 3 labyrinths, and I'll explain that later. But she used to go out at the end of her day at Southwestern Bell, and she'd basically walk a labyrinth. And she said that she really got answers to her questions and problems simply because she was walking the labyrinth, and we'll talk about that tonight. So we're going to show you all kinds of labyrinths. We're going to show you things from all over the world, the uniqueness of it, and how to walk it and how to build it. And then I have a woo-woo labyrinth I'll show you at the end. A lot of you, I guess, know John Capella. John Capella had me speak over in Dallas on this same program. And George and Ori had some kind of extra program on a Monday night, so John and I were at his house. We basically did a radio program, and we brought in a girl from Denton on the phone. And she runs a healing shop up there, and so she basically was walking a labyrinth. Now, her labyrinth was a very simple one. It was just a piece of grass with a bunch of stones. But she didn't get stoned, but she got relaxed because she walked a labyrinth. So this is another form of meditation we have for you. I see a lot of people doing this. I don't know whether you have the vapors or is it too hot in here. So we're going to show you a lot of different things. And we'll have questions later, and I'll show you this woo-woo labyrinth I'm going to build later. So we're going to have lights, camera, and action.